What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Bluff God. Hey! And we are back with another Berserk read through. And today we will be reading chapter 25, at least chronologically. The title of this chapter is Assassin Assassin Chapter 2. Alright, so yeah, we getting back into the whole assassin theory or series. But before we get into that, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Make sure you also leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Berserk. Let me know your thoughts on my read-throughs down in the comments. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitch so you can catch me live streaming live and you can engage with me in real time. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and join the Discord. Come be a part of the community where we talk anime and other things, video games, movies, all that good stuff. All of these will be in the description box down below. All right, so last chapter, the king, this kingdom had like this event where they hunt. They was hunting like a fox or something, right? So it's just this big hunt, right? So the band of the Hawk are kind of in charge of like security, you can say, right? And Griffith was, hanging with the princess, and this boar comes running out of the bushes, scaring the princess's horse, and Griffith pretty much chases the horse down to stop her horse and pretty much help her out. And we also know that there was an assassin that the king's brother, I want to say his name was, what was his name? Julius, I think his name was Julius, Lord Julius. He pretty much has an assassination or a hit out on Griffith, and his assassin managed to actually shoot Griffith in the chest with an arrow that I suppose to be poisoned. I'm not too sure, but we're about to see what's going to happen with Griffith this chapter. So let's get into it. Again, this is going to be the 25th chapter of the series overall, and the title of this chapter is Assassin Chapter 2. Let's get into it. We start the chapter off with Griffith with this arrow in his chest, looking shocked, and we see Guts leading the band of the Hawk towards Griffith's location, and Guts yells, "Griffith!" So yeah. Okay, so again we get a cover page with a title page. We get a title page saying Assassin Chapter 2. We got Griffith falling over into this little pond, and the band of the Hawk are, coming to his rescue. The princess yells, "Ka!" and Griffith falls to the floor. Bro, this arrow looked like it's in Griffith's like heart, at least near his heart. So, I mean, how I see it, it's like one of them hits that people don't survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like right on his heart, right there. Like maybe it hardly missed his heart. I don't know. We have to see. But even if it doesn't, if this arrow is poisoned, it's not too much of a good look, right? Like, cause especially the fact that it's right near his heart and it's poison, that means, the heart pumps blood all throughout your body, right? So that's like the center, that's like headquarters, right? So you infect that with poison, that blood going through everywhere, quick, versus you hit like a specific, like your leg, right? And then the blood has to travel eventually go to your heart and then spread everywhere else. But yeah, and you know, getting hit in the heart, you know, people usually die. You know, if you get hit in the heart, that's usually a kill shot right there. But so we see Casca jump off her horse and yell, "Griffith!" Guts runs towards Griffith. Casca's running towards Griffith. And Casca picks up Griffith and says, "Griffith, are you okay? Hang on." We also see the princess and like she's shaking. She's and the Guts says, "Hey, princess." And you know, she's scared. She don't know what's going on. You know, you can't really blame old girl. Can't really blame her. You know, but again, nobody knows. Nobody knows what happened. You know, the band just shows up. You know, but Guts gotta be careful where he talk to this princess though. So Guts is grabbing the princess. He says, "What the hell's going on? Where'd that arrow come from?" And the princess says, I do not know. Ouch, let go." And then I think Judo's talking. He says, "Oh no, if we aren't careful, his heart might." And somebody say, "No way." And we see Guts grasp his sword. I guess he's going to try to find the assassin. So Guts is looking around, and he's looking through the tree, the lines of the tree, and then we see the assassin behind one of the trees, looking confident. That man is confident. He happy with he happy at his job, and he says that arrow's been well soaked in the deadly poison of the Calabar bean. Even if it's just a scratch, he's done for. Yeah, man. So now we know that arrow was definitely coated in poison. You know, I kind of knew that. Like, I don't, you know, just the fact when the one guy was talking to Julius and was like, yeah, maybe if it's poison and all that. So he already suggested to hit him with a poison arrow. So I kind of assumed that the arrow was going to be poison based off of the suggestion. But now we got that confirmation that the arrow is definitely poison. Casca says, "Griffith." And then Griffith like grabs her, like grabs her by the face and says, "Don't get so worked up." And then the assassin looks a little shocked. So I'm kind of thinking this arrow may not have pierced him fully. I don't know. And we got the whole band of the Hawk around Griffith. We see Pippin, Korka, Judo, Casca, Rickard, all them guys. And then Gus says, "Griffith." And then the assassin is like, you know, looking confused, like what's going on. And they say, "But the arrow, are you all right?" And Guts pulls the arrow out of his chest, or Griffith pulls the arrow out of his chest. And Judo says, "What's that?" And then Griffith says, "Poison, I'd say, and a rather strong one." So I'm feeling like Griffith probably had like an extra layer of protection or something. I'm not too sure. Maybe he kind of predicted something like this was going to happen. Like he predicted that there was going to be some jealousy in the among the nobles and the higher the people on the higher social standing, right? So he probably believed that maybe there was going to be some jealousy and maybe somebody would try to take his life. So, you know, he prepared like, I'm going to put on like an extra cloth of armor or something, like some chainmail or something. It said, then why? It was this. And then he grabs the Bahilit and Griffith says, it acted as a shield. Goddamn Bahilit. God. Bro, it's like that thing got a will, man. It's like, I'm gonna protect you, Griffith. But bro, like that's kind of like what I said like last chapter. You know how you get those movies where they put like a book in their left pocket, like let's say they find it's like a cop movie or whatever, and they find like some evidence of like a little book, and then they put it in their pocket, and then they get shot, and then the little book acts like a shield. Or not it don't gotta be a little book. That's just like one example. But it's like they put something that they find randomly into like their shirt or left pocket or something, and then it acts as a shield and saves their life later in the movie. And it was like, yeah, I had this little Bible in my left breast pocket, and it saved me. So yeah, we see the Bahilit, and it barely looked phased. Like you could kind of see a little dent where the arrow hit. But yeah, it didn't do much to the Bahilit. And then Gut says, the egg of the king. I wonder if that prophecy is going to come back to his head. So they said, is that the necklace you always wear? Are you serious? Good grief. There's no way. Do things like that even happen? It's a miracle. And then we see Griffith holding the Bahilit. And then Corker says, the devil's own luck. And then Judo said, really, it's literally a good luck charm. And then Guts is thinking in his head, devil's luck. And Guts is, and he's also thinking, yeah, this is no ordinary luck. Yeah, that's definitely like that, the will of the Bahilit keeping Griffith alive. It got to. So we see the assassin behind the tree. They should like spread out and try to find this guy. Like he got to be close. Casca says, Griffith, you should take off your armor. We have to see whether you're injured. And then Griffith says, I'm fine. It was really no thing. Don't say that, says Casca. And then we got the crew all looking. Casca, like, looking at, like, oh, man, you know, Casca love herself some Griffith, man. I'm telling you. And then she says, it was coated in poison, right? There's a risk even with a small wound. And Griffith just looks at her, and then he says, I'm all right, honestly. It didn't even graze me. And Casca says, but... And the princess gets down from her horse, and she says, excuse me. I'm sorry. If I had been able to handle a horse more ably, this would not have... And then Griffith says, what do you mean? It is our duty to protect you as well. And then Casca looks at the princess. And the other guys are saying, anyway, though, who did this? Who out there wants our boss dead? Low-life bastard will kill him. Wait, what if they were aiming for the princess? Either way, we can't have it. And Gus says, I'm going to search the undergrowth around here with my men. And then he says, come on, let's go, Gaston. Right now, we see Julius looking like a Quaker. He kind of look like either a witch or a Quaker or something, you know, like. And he's riding past on his horse. And then Griffith looks with his, it just has like this very wide-eyed look. And then Julius says, bah. So I guess he noticed that his plan failed. And then Griffith says, a high price to pay, eh? part was a little confusing. For this poison. And we see Griffith holding that arrow coated in poison. And then we cut to the Windheim Castle. And we see like a chalice fall and break, and someone saying that was pathetic. We see the assassin and he says, "Please forgive me. However, I don't want to hear your excuse," says Julius. Then he says the conclusion that this was a Cheddar assassin aiming for the princess means that this incident is settled for now. Almost no suspicion whatsoever rests on our shoulders. Bruh, Julius looked like an older version of Griffith, like a older, more stressed out version of Griffith. He says, but thanks to this, we've given Griffith the merit of being the one who protected the princess with his own body. The commoners heard the rumor and immediately enshrined the boy as some hero. Even the king seems terribly happy. So this had like the opposite effect of what Julius wanted, because Julius just wanted Griffith dead, but now Griffith is being looked at as a hero, which is going to give him even more accolades and more praise from the people like the king and the people of the kingdom, which is kind of like what Julius doesn't want. Because the more admiration he gets, the more, the higher on the scale Griffith goes, which means he's going to be equal to Julius, especially if he becomes a lord. So yeah, this is having a negative effect, at least of what Julius wants. Julius says, we've effectively helped him advance even further. It's the pinnacle of ineptitude. The assassin says, but if the arrow was meant for the princess, what an amazing coincidence it made to pierce his heart. Then Julius says, then do you suggest that I go before his majesty and inform him that you aimed at it? Or that you aimed at Griffith? The important thing is, despite that, he's still alive. But it was highly unlikely such a thing would... And then Julius says, enough, be gone. And then we see the assassin leaving the room while Julius seethes in anger. And he's sitting on his chair. I guess he's just thinking. He's trying to come up with some type of plan. Julius says, those eyes, like he was trying to daunt me. Like he was looking down on some worthless thing. That was his expression. And we see like this creepy face of Griffith. I think this was from the time where he slapped Griffith after Griffith touched the princess. And Julius is thinking, ridiculous. I'm royalty, second in line to the throne of Midland. Compared to that common boy, there's a world of difference in both social standing and rank, and yet it was the same during the hunt. For one instant, like a beast hunting prey, yes. Looking at me with eyes just like a hawk. Just like a hawk's. I mean, that's why they call it the Band of the Hawk, right? It's kind of like Griffith kind of has like that whole hawk theme going on for him. And then we see Julius sweating, and he says, could it be? And then Julius says, no, it couldn't. The other lords were present too. It was just our eyes meeting for an instant. Above all, there isn't any proof. And then he thinks, it couldn't be. And we see the moon in the background. Now we got Guts going up like a spiral step in the castle. So Guts goes through this door and enters what looks to be like a library. And there's some guy in there. Trying to make out who that is. I don't really know. But some guy in there reading, and he says, "Hi." And he says, "Sorry to call you up so late." Is that Griffith? I don't think so. And he says, "Wait there a minute. I'll be done shortly." And the guy's like, he's reading and he's also writing. Like, he has a book to the right of him, and then he's also like writing on a piece of paper to the left of the book. And Guts is looking around at these books. And then the guy says, "There's more again. Have you read all these?" Or no, this is Guts talking. And then the guy says, "Well, most of them. To become great, one has to be able to do more than fight." And he's writing on the paper. And the guy says, "Having said that, half of them are just light reading. History, religion, philosophy, chemistry, tactics, and then quirky ones like cosmetic or cooking." And then Gus says, "Blah." Gus don't like none of this. And then the guy like shows him a book, and he said, "Even things like this, want to borrow it?" And then we see like two people. We see like a book with images of two people having sexual relations, might I say. It looked kind of like a Hindu book or something, but I don't know. I just know they're having sexual relations. So yeah, I guess I gotta assume that this dude's Griffith, right? So Guts says, "So you need me to do something?" And then what I suppose was Griffith, he says, "Huh?" And he stamps the paper that he's writing on. And then he looks at Griffith. And then Griffith says, "I'd like you to kill a man for me." Oh, shoot. And then that is Assassin Chapter 2 End. Oh boy. So okay. So all right. Let's start from the beginning of this chapter, right? So we pretty much start this chapter with the what pretty much from last chapter where we got Griffith with an arrow in his chest. And the band of the Hawk pretty much come to his aid, and they come to help Griffith, worried about him. Griffith falls over into the water, and the princess is worried. She's shaking. Guts goes up to the princess like, "Hey, did you see what happened? Who did this?" You know, scaring the princess. You know, she's just a girl. She doesn't know what's going on. You know, she's just kind of caught up in this whole situation. You know, when her horse ran off. So everybody's worried about Griffith because, you know, it's this arrow right in his chest, right where his heart is. But Griffith managed to pull the arrow out, and he said, "Oh, so this thing's must be coated with poison, right?" But everybody's like, "Okay, Griffith is okay, you know, despite this poison." Even the assassin who shot him, he's like, "This guy's okay. I mean, what's going on? I shot this man. The arrows dipped in, I forget what kind of poison it was. It was like some animal, I guess, right?" And come to find out, it was a Calibal bean. That's what it was, a bean or something. So come to find out that it was the Bahilit that saved Griffith, which I should have known, because I even said I don't think the arrow is going to poison Griffith. I think there's going to be something. Either he wore like some extra armor, or there's going to be like something that's going to stop the arrow. The Bahilit, right? That should have been the easiest thing the easiest thing to guess, right? But I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the Bahilit. But the Bahilit saved Griffith, and at the same time, we seen Julius kind of walking past the whole situation, and Griffith manages to make eye contact and kind of like, I know it was you, sucker. I know it was you. So it seemed like Griffith knows that it was Julius, you know, and even later in the chapter, Julius is a little worried, like, did he know it was me? Like, he couldn't have known it was me. You know, we just managed to make eye contact, right? So yeah. So we also had Casca. She's worried about, even despite the fact that, you know, Griffith pulls the arrow out and said, "Oh, I'm good." Casca's still worried. She said even a scratch could, you know, we just want to check. Let's just make sure. But Griffith's like, look, I'm good. It didn't scratch me. It didn't do anything, right? So I'm good. And so we cut to Julius talking with his assassin, and he's, you know, like, oh, you failed, and this is going to actually elevate Griffith's name in this kingdom, because now people are deeming him as the hero who saved the princess, because they assume that whoever this assassin was tried to hit the princess. You know, that's what a lot of people, that's the narrative people believe, that the arrow was intended for the princess, and Griffith managed to step in the way and save the princess, right? So that's kind of what people believe, and it had the opposite intended effects that Julius wanted, because Julius wanted Griffith dead, but no, Griffith ain't dead. And matter of fact, it's elevated his name to an even higher status, right? So now Julius is also worried that Griffith know that it was him who did it, and you know, he's just stressing at the moment. So after that, though, we cut to Guts going to a library where Griffith is in, and you know, Guts says, "Hey, you need me to do something?" And Griffith ends the chapter saying, "I need you to kill a man." I need you to kill a man. So that is the chapter. Great chapter. I knew Griffith wasn't going to succumb to no arrow or no poison. I knew he wasn't going to die. I kind of thought maybe he'd fight for his life. He'd be in a situation where he's fighting for his life. But not even that, right? It was a complete failed assassination attempt. And it was because of the Bahilit. The Bahilit that's trying to keep Griffith alive. But yeah, that was a good chapter. Anyway, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Make sure you also comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter. Let me know your thoughts on the read through. Do you like Berserk? Are you a fan of Berserk? Let me know. Who's your favorite character? Is it Guts, Griffith? Whatever. Just don't spoil anything on me. Just don't spoil anything for me. Make sure you follow me on Twitch so you can catch me live and you can engage with me in real time. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And join the Discord. Come be a part of my community. We could talk Berserk. We could talk One Piece. We could talk The Return of Bleach. We could talk Chainsaw Man, even though I gotta watch that. I haven't watched or read that. But we could talk about all those things, or any other series, or even stuff outside of anime, sports, all that. We could talk about that in the Discord. But yeah, it's your boy Sean P. the Blumph God, and I'm out of here. Peace.